Hello, my name is Jen Mitchell Love. I am the owner and creator of Solace Divorce Mediation. And I'm going to be doing a series of Facebook Lives to share more about the Solace journey and to also share about my journey and co-creating my dream life. And I just finished a podcast guest appearance, and I thought I'd jump on to share with anyone who is not familiar with the birthing of Solace. And so I graduated law school in 2006. I was a litigation attorney for the first 9 years of my career. And then I had 3 children in 39 months. Bam, bam, bam. You will meet them on a later live. And when my youngest came, Hudson, I vividly remember I was living in Berwyn outside of Chicago, and I was standing in our dining room area. And I had an overall, it was a mental, emotional, physical, spiritual kind of awakening where in that moment, I I realized there must be a better way to go through divorce than the way that I was doing it, where I was a litigation attorney for one person going through a divorce, and I was fighting as their zealous advocate representing their best interest and their best interest solely, as if they were an island of one, when most often when people are going through a divorce, they're not by themselves. I mean, always they're not by themselves. They have their spouse, but most often we have children involved. And so that message came through in June of 2014. And at that point, I referred all of my litigation cases out to attorneys. I, of course, gave my clients the choices to attorneys that I knew and I loved and I trusted. And I began my journey as a mediator and, using my expertise and using my experience for good in guiding people and helping them navigate this space of divorce, which, of course, in the courtroom setting, for anyone out there who knows someone who has used the courtroom setting for their divorce, or if you used it for yourself, you know how destructive it is. Everybody knows how destructive it is. It isn't destructive just for some, it is destructive for all, I believe. And I believe the reason for that is because it's rooted in this old way of being, this old way of navigating, where there has to be a right, a wrong, a good, a bad, a winner, a loser. And, in that space, what I realized with this moment, where it came to me, there must be a better way to do this. My children were the ones who showed that to me. And so all parents out there, we know that, of course, we are here to teach our children and to guide our children, but they're also here to teach us. And my children taught me that the work that I was doing in that courtroom setting was destroying other people's children and destroying people financially, emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally. All the leaves, they were being destroyed. And I knew in that moment that I didn't want that to be the legacy that I left for my children. I didn't want my kids to see and feel their mom working in this system that was so incredibly stressful and just doing things that I did not feel aligned with morally. And I wanted to create something new. And so that is when the birth of Solace happened. She was not called Solace from the beginning. The first name was Holistic Divorce Resolution. And then in 2017, I went to my first Tony Robbins event, Unleash the Power Within, and I came home and I rebranded everything. And from then on, her name was Solace. And the Solace journey, Solace as a whole has an anatomy. So the heart of this practice is children. My children transformed my whole life and my career to open space for me to create this beautiful, beautiful container. And so children are the heart of Solace. It is my personal belief that no children anywhere should be negatively impacted by divorce. There's so many empowering parts to the divorce journey that we can share with our children. And so they remain the heart of this practice. I'll share more lives about kids specifically moving forward. And the foundation of the Solace practice is self-care and self-love. Because when you are going through a divorce, which is one of the most emotionally difficult experiences you will have in your life, you need to take really, really good care of yourself. The soul of this practice is authenticity. And that is really the foundational homework for all of my clients I typically recommend going in nature and to really tune into their truth of what they believe is in the best interests of their children and what they believe is the most fair and equitable way to resolve all financial issues that are part of the journey. And the root of what we are doing here at Solace is we are healing. And we are not causing destruction. We are not causing any harm. We are sitting in our space of being sovereign beings of light and sharing our truth with one another. And I am here as the legal mediator to help guide you. And so I'm here to listen to both of you. I have one-on-ones with my clients where we're able to have space where, in the one-on-one, my client can share what, their um, thoughts are when it comes to, and truth is, when it comes to what is in the best interest of the kids, when it comes to what is fair and equitable for marital property. And I remain a neutral. That's one of the things I love about this role as mediator. I'm a neutral. So I'm not here to advocate on behalf of either party. I'm here to guide you through all of the necessary legal conversations. Make sure you do the homework from the Supreme Court and offer my 19 years of experience to help you see things differently, maybe shift things, ease any tightness, and offer different ways of looking at things. And of course, creative solutions that can feel good for everybody. So that is the anatomy. That is how Solace was birthed. And really the biggest difference between, and this is something I wanted to share too, because when I just did this podcast guest appearance, the woman who was interviewing me didn't really understand, mediation and how, so if they mediate, they don't have to go to court. And that is the absolute truth. If you mediate, you do not need to use the courtroom setting. You do not need to litigate. The interesting part with divorce is you do need a judge's signature on your legal documents to legally dissolve the bonds of matrimony and to, have all of your mediated agreements that have been made into the legal documents. We have a separate legal team from Solace that does that. And, when the judge signs off, the bonds are dissolved and all of the agreements that were made into legal documents all become court orders. And so, yes, you can absolutely choose to mediate your divorce. And I am honored to guide people through this journey. For me in my space, of course, it's a legal journey, and the legal aspects of the journey I think are the easiest. And also in this space, I share my spiritual ways of being, different ways of navigating this life that may feel really good to you. I share breathwork techniques, guided meditations, all different kind of things that you can do to help you to feel good and to help you become really, really clear about who you are and what you want in this life experience. And in the Solace Mediation Zoom room, it is definitely a sacred space where you can explore all of those things. And I'm here to guide my clients through from start to finish and, yeah, help them really see things a little differently. Recognize that in the darkest times of our life, which divorce is one of those spaces, those are the times we are given the greatest opportunities to grow. So I am sending you much love, and I will continue to do these lives because I am being guided to do so. And my intention for these lives is to really share so much love with you and give you a space that is calm and that is peaceful, where you can really connect and you can step into that space of becoming the co-creator of your life. So sending you much love. Have a beautiful rest of your day.